short loin. This part right here is your tenderloin, where you get your filet mignon, you get your chateaubriand over here, you get your steak tips right there. On this side over here, you're going to get your New York strip or the loin. And then if you were to keep this completely whole, you would take a bandsaw and cut it straight down like this, and then that would give you T-bone steaks. Okay? So again, as you guys can see, what I was doing is I was following the natural curvature of the animal's rib. And then you get your knife in there. Can you guys hear that knife? It's just scraping right against the bone, right? And then just work it. And if you can't approach it from the other side, then you gotta try it from another point of view.
You only have to move.
Now you're at the point right here where you're like, okay, now I'm gonna get in here. And really try to get as close as you can to the bone, because you don't want to waste any money, because this is an expensive piece of meat. You have the filet, plus you have the loin in there. On another lab that you guys will have, you already have this taken out, okay? So let's just weigh this, just for instance.
So is the tip of that filet mignon?
The tip of this right here is the chateaubriand, and then you cut these into little pieces or tournades, and that's the filet mignon. Okay? So write this down, guys. Let me put it in. 2 pounds and 14 ounces. Okay? So now when you're doing this, and you'll get a chance to do this later, and I'm not going to take all of it off, but you can see how easy it comes off. You can even just use your fingers. And then we'll call that waste, because you can't use that, but most likely waste. And you can see how I'm butchering it. All right. So here, a part of this tenderloin is called the chain, right? You take your thumb. See that? How easy that came off? You guys all see that? Chain. Yeah. Right here. I wouldn't really label this as waste. But what can you do with this? Well, you can take it and then take little pieces off of it right here. And I think what we can do, and then maybe you guys can use this on Thursday, is make it for sliders. What about that? That would be cool, huh? So we can use that for sliders. So I won't classify that as waste. Over here, right? You get this? Okay, so that's what you want. You want to have very little waste right here. Right there, I just had to dig under there to get a little bit of that. So I wish I could have done a little bit better, but sometimes you're not going to be able to. You lift it up, waste, and then Damien, we're gonna weigh that waste too once I'm done with everything. Okay. Yep. So right here, you don't want to go too crazy. Okay. That's our sliders. And that's pretty much it right there. You want to try, when you're thinking about the cuts, you want to try to do it as smooth as you can and as even as you can. Okay? So what I'll do is I'll leave this part right here, and if anybody wants to try to butcher this part, try to get the silver skin out, they can. Okay? So right after that, you have this big piece right here. So like, how do you go about trying to attack this, right?
You want to remove the fat?
Right, remove the fat, that's the first thing, right? This is all waste. And you want to get, this is a very tough piece right here. Just like what we did with the gooseneck, right? Remember?
Yeah.
You're trying to find where you're going and how do you get there. So you want to clear a little bit of this first. But now some of this fat is good, okay? Like I wouldn't take off all of this fat, to be honest with you.
Right,
Oh,
the
you
T-bone,
think-
That keeps
you
it
want a
tender
little
though,
bit,
right? That
It
helps
does
it.
keep it tender,
Seals it.
flavor, yep. Like all these blue marks and all this discoloration, I definitely would take that off, okay? And everybody's different. Like they'll leave a couple of streaks on there. We'll try not to take out as much as we can. So the way that I would attack this is I would stick my boning knife in here, or my little scimitar.
You wouldn't go from like the top where the bone is?
Yes.
So chef, because we don't have that cutter, we can't keep these bones, so we're just gonna remove it by hand.
What's that? Oh, right,
Is
because
that
we
what
don't
we're
have a saw,
Bandsaw?
a bandsaw. Plus the fact that that might be insurance.
Issue for us
Issue.
using it.
Yeah. I wouldn't want you guys to lose a finger or a digit, right?
You have to sign a waiver.
We do. Okay, so again, you're trying to. So now, when I'm thinking about this, this is the way it's gonna cut. It's gonna go like this and like that. Okay. And I'm just looking at that and how I'm gonna go attack that bone right there. Then again, I come over here and I said, okay, well, let me change my plan of attack, right? And you can feel these ribs. Can you get a close up of that? Okay, see how I'm going really, really close to that. I'm gonna try and do the same thing on this side. And when you're cutting something, right, you're trying to use gravity as a force.
I wish I had like 3 cameras, one hand, one hand.
And since these knives are slippery, right, I would highly suggest you guys be super, super careful when you butcher this. Okay. There you go. Nice and easy, huh? All right, so this, let's just classify it as waste for our purposes. But I'm actually going to use this in another class for my, I'm going to make pho. It's a Vietnamese dish, and I'm going to take those bones, I'm going to roast it. As I go along through tonight, I'm going to actually take some more of this meat, and then we'll add it to this pile right here for the sliders, okay? So now let's talk about this New York strip. Okay? Or this loin. This can be used for sliders. Okay? And you can see by just pulling on this, this is going to be really tough. So, I mean, that can be considered waste. Okay? So again, trying to go about it and attacking this. Start here. That's waste. Again, some people like this little thing right there. Some people don't. Again, you don't want to take off too much of that. But, and I'm going to leave it just like that. So then from here, we'll decide to cut All portions from there. Okay? So you have the New York strip right here, which we're gonna cut into portions. You're gonna have this part right here, which is the tenderloin, and this New York strip. It is 6 pounds and 10 ounces. Okay? So get a more accurate figure, so. Alright, now that's a little bit better. 7 pounds and 11 ounces. You got that?
Like 630.
Oh, that's a big boy steak. Okay? And then this will be classified for trim, which is usable. Trim is 1 pound and 3 ounces. Want to write that down? 1 pound and 3 ounces.
The trim, yeah.
The trim. And the waist. Pounds and 3 ounces. Okay. You guys have any questions how to take down a short loin? Okay, good.